Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 396. If you're writing a book or thinking about it or trying to finish a work in progress, or maybe you need help letting more people know about your book, you are in the right place. Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., I-N-K, like that stuff you write with, especially on social media, Inc. Every day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and these three things, these three pillars, if you will, have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published one. They are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. Leonardo da Vinci. And once again, good morning, happy Monday. And I think this is what we're going to be doing every Monday moving forward, starting with what I did last week, the three pillars that I just listed, writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. So those of you who listen to the show regularly are probably quite familiar with those three things at this point. The three things that can determine an author's success and even turn a non-author into an author. So remember the things that I bang on the drums the loudest for, those are the things that I need to be reminded of the most as well. So every Monday, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to offer a hopefully useful piece of advice for each of those three areas, the three pillars I've decided to call them. So let's go. Here's today's writing fundamentals tip. This is something I call LIU with my coaching clients. And I totally made this up. Literary it up. And I think I've even mentioned it on here before, but it's one of my favorite things to mark when I'm marking up people's chapters with their manuscripts as I coach them as they write their books. LIU, literary it up, which in my mind means to up-level the overall language and quality of writing, as in literary, make it more literary, as in thinking, which tools in my writer's toolbox can I use to make this sentence or paragraph or section more exciting, more compelling, add more impact? Metaphors, imagery, analogies, just really overall up-leveling the quality of writing. So I, mark that on people's manuscripts, LIU, literary it up. That's today's writing fundamentals tip when you're looking to add impact to any part of your manuscript, literary it up. Look into your writer's toolbox, metaphors, imagery, analogies. Those are just my favorites, so I list those, but there's a million more beyond that. And LIU. Here's today's productivity habit tip. And this one comes from the awesome book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And it is to create visual cues that will remind you of which daily habits you want to keep, or which you want to set, or which you want to maintain. So for instance, those of you who know me on social media know that my quarantine skill has been juggling. I've been learning juggling over virtual Zoom classes. And I found that I just, even as much as I know this habit stuff, see, when I keep mentioning these books like Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it's just like, we know, we got it, okay. But even I have to be reminded because I just wasn't keeping up with, any kind of daily juggling habit. And with something like that, you really do want to do it every day because there's muscle memory involved. You're teaching your brain and your body how to do that. So I had them just they were kind of in view, but they were just in my office off to the side and it just wasn't happening. So finally I took those juggling balls, I plopped them right down in the middle of the kitchen counter. I did this last week. Guess what? I've been juggling every single day. That easy. So it was kind of in my line of vision before, like off to the right in my office. Now it's in the middle of the kitchen counter. I juggle every day. So as an author, perhaps you could pick something that you use or have in your space specifically while working on your book. So is there anything in your writing cave? Like, I always mention this, like a kind of candle that you light or, any specific, totems or objects that help you feel more inspired. But, anything that you bring out when you're working on your book. How can you make that thing as highly visible as possible in your living space? So not just your office, but where you're going to spend most of your day. Like I said, for me, middle of the kitchen counter, I'm always walking by it. There's those juggling balls. Oh, I should juggle. So how can you put something as just highly visible as possible in your living space that you connect to the process of writing your book? And finally, here's today's mindset habit tip. There comes that time in the book writing process when, as terrifying as it might sound, you actually have to show your work to other people. Whether this means initially to your editor and then, of course, your readers, unless you plan on writing in a bubble, this is just reality. My mindset tip around this today is, before you let other people see your work, make sure you ground yourself in your own positive opinion of it. Summon up all the feelings of pride you have for following through with your goal of writing a book and think about all the things you love about your book. And realize that when it comes to the things about it that you're nervous about or maybe you don't love, either number one, an editor will most likely solve those problems for you, or B, acknowledge that you did the best you could, so let it go. Anchor yourself in the positives about your book and acknowledge yourself as the author who created it. Then, when you go out and expose your work to the opinions of others, especially, onto Amazon for reviews, and again, the operative word there is opinions, but you'll be doing so from firm, self-confident footing. And I hope you're enjoying my new 3 pillars format for our Monday episodes, and I hope you'll keep tuning in for future episodes like this. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And I would love to see you in my Inc. Authors group on Facebook. Tell us what your writing goals are and how we can support you. Inc. Authors on Facebook. Until tomorrow, happy writing.